Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I manage to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Well, what I'm going to talk about today is a change, a very good change, as opposed to in the past when I was having surgeries in the 70s. What I'm talking about is a child nurse specialist. What they will do is they tell the child at their age, to at their understanding what is going to happen. It is a lot less scary. It is a lot less scary for that child because they understand it. For example, when I was having surgeries, I was not told this stuff. This stuff was foreign to me. I was always freaked out. But thank you for those of you that made these studies to tell people, hey, you need to do things a little bit better. I'm going to tell you, one time, I was always given what they call a pre-op. What that means is I was given a sedative before the surgery. That was not effective because I'm going to say I personally had a phobia of being on my back, and nobody would listen to me when I was a child because they didn't think that was something that was important to them. I don't understand the reason behind that. That was something that I always knew. That was one of the things that made me nervous. One of the things that would have helped me with that is like they do now, they allow a parent to be in the room with the child until they go to sleep or get put under anesthesia. Sorry, I used an incorrect term there. So thank you for that. And thank you for the nurses that are understanding after surgery. One thing that I did not like after surgery is that I had to take shots of codeine. When I was having surgeries, they didn't have the automated pumps they have now. I would have to wait for the nurse to come, check records, do all these things in order to get my medicine. Sometimes they would come in and say, sorry, it's too soon. And other times they would give it. That was frustrating. Oh, something else I'm going to say is when I was a child, they had these strong medicines. Because of that, my stomach is screwed up. Let me tell you something that's frustrating to me now. Sometimes I can eat something and it won't do anything to my stomach. Other times I will eat the same thing and it messes with my stomach. It's something that's they didn't understand. The delivery methods are better now, but before it was not as good, and they would have to do shots, and then I wanted to get off the shots as soon as possible because I didn't like shots, and the sooner I get out of them, that means the sooner I could go home. But still, that was still bad because they would give me these big horse pills. This is another crazy experience I had when I was a child with surgeries. And for those of you that don't know, I have cerebral palsy, so all my surgeries were bone surgeries. Now let me talk about an experience I had as a child as a segue to something else. I was only in the hospital one time for a non-surgical. I got a bacterial infection so bad that it made me sick. It made me sick. Somebody brought it to me. So I went to they took me to the doctor. My parents took me to the doctor. They gave me a shot. They gave me a shot. And okay, during the time that shot was there, that shot was effective during that 24-hour period. It was okay. But then, as soon as that 24-hour period ended, it was a weird situation because I got sick again and puking and everything else. So my mom called the doctor, and they admitted me to the hospital. I didn't know what was going on, but they took me during the time when it was early. The doctors were already there, but it was early. So they took me and they said, "Oh no, you have to go to the hospital." That was a scary situation as a kid because I didn't know what this was about. So one thing that really scared me that my parents didn't even know is the fact that I was given a stat. When I got to the hospital, the first thing they did, I guess the doctor had ordered a stat IV. They put a stat IV in me because I was super dehydrated. So then I was taken there for the first couple of 3 days that I was there. I don't know how many days I was there. So at first they didn't give me any fluid, any food or anything. I was just being nourished through an IV. Then they started doing clear liquids and all these things. Till finally I started eating food again. When I started eating food again, I said, well, it's almost time to leave. Sorry about that. So they finally gave me fish. But what was different was the fact that I was not in pain. I was just there, recovering from this bacteria. One of the things that they did was they gave me antibiotic in there, a medicine to kill the bacteria. I don't know what medicine was. I don't think it was antibiotic because antibiotic is not for bacteria. So anyway, that was a weird experience I had, talking about a couple of hospital stays, not just surgery. This one was something I forgot about. It wasn't that dramatic, but not going to the hospital for surgery and going in there for sickness was different. With that, thank you for listening. This one will be out on Wednesday. Wednesday. Today's Monday. Thank you for listening. Please follow me at all the places, including Spotify, Apple Podcast. Rate and subscribe, and I'll be happy. Thank you for that. And that way you can know when I post. I normally update on Wednesday and Saturday, and I'm going to give you my email now, ke4key@gmail.com, ke4key@gmail.com. With that, thank you for listening, and this one will be out on Wednesday.